Hello, fellow library lover, and welcome to yet another webinar on an online class in which we'll discuss an online database in detail. Today we'll be discussing Proquest Newsday Online. Hi, my name is Stuart Schaefer, and I'm the head of the reference department at the Farmingdale Public Library. And my contact information is, my phone number is 516-249-9090, extension 203. And my email address is fdaleref@nassaulibrary.org. If you need to get to the library's website, which you probably will to get to this online database, you want to go to www.farmingdalelibrary.org. So on the screen right now, you're seeing a shared screen. I'm actually looking at it, and I displayed it on Zoom, and you're seeing what I'm seeing on my computer screen right now. So again, at the top, it has my contact information, my phone number, my email address, and the library's website. And today we're going to be talking about Proquest Newsday, Proquest Online. And it actually has access to the database, the newspaper from January 1st, 1980 to the present. And you will need your library card and the barcode on the back of it to access Proquest Newsday from home, which we also call it remote access. So I'm going to scroll down a bit and sort of share a little outline of what I'd like to talk about in this presentation. What is Newsday? Basically, it's the Long Island newspaper. It covers Nassau and Suffolk. You probably have seen it. And this database allows you to search it by subject, by topic, by names of people, by sports teams, by topics, subjects, keywords, things like that. The more you use it, the more familiar you'll be with the database and the better your searches will be. It's a great resource for Long Island-based news. And I'm going to talk about how we search for articles, and I'm going to talk about saving documents and printing them and emailing them. And I'm going to show you just sort of how to continue doing that and how to get better results and quicker results when you search. So I'm going to go up to the top of my screen and I'm going to share a new page, which is, it should be the, at some point, the library's webpage. And you should, there it is. So again, the library's website is farmingdalelibrary.org, and the way in which you can access this database is by going to, at the top, under Research on the green bar, you're going to click on Research and go to Electronic Resources by Subject, and then we're going to scroll down to Magazines and Newspapers. I clicked on that link, and this also appeared, this next page. I'm scrolling down to Newsday, and I'm going to go over here. I just circled it with my mouse. Newsday at home use. So I'm going to click on that link. And this is where you will at some point need your library card. I'm going to type in my barcode. And I'm going to click on Login. So there's a lot happening on this page, but we'll take it one step at a time. Where it says enter search terms, that's where you can put in subjects or titles or topics or names of people or locations, towns, and place names on Long Island. Under that, you have the option to search for a full text article, which means you'll actually have access to the words of the article. In some cases, you'll just find a summary of the article or an abstract of the article. An abstract is basically just the author, the title, the page of the article, how long it is, the date that the article was posted or printed in Newsday. The option to the right of it, peer reviewed, refers mostly to scientific articles, which aren't used as much in Newsday. That's when one professor looks at another article that another professor looked at and is judging it based on how scientifically organized the article is and how it meets with the scientific method and things like that. But for Newsday, pretty much you can kind of ignore that option. So we're going to do a basic search now for Roosevelt Field. And I just clicked on the box and I started typing Roosevelt Field. And you can see that the little box under it, it is auto-filled. So the first option is Roosevelt Field, then Theodore Roosevelt in the field, then E. Roosevelt, and some other results that you can see I'm using the mouse on. I'm going to click on the first option, Roosevelt Field. And on the left side, we have 12,490 results. We can click under sorted by. We can click either by relevance. We can have the oldest article first or the most recent article first. I'm going to choose the most recent article first. And it sorted it. So this top article is from April 17th, 2020, which is very current. Then we have another article from April 15th, 2020, and then March 20th, 2020, and so on. I also want to go on the left side and I want to limit it to just full text articles. In other words, I want to see what the article words are that appeared in Newsday. So I'm going to click on that. And we went from 12,490 to 12,144 articles, which to my way of thinking means that most of the articles on Newsday dealing with Roosevelt Field are full text articles, which means you'll be able to read the whole article and what it looked like in Newsday. So the article that I'd like to pull up is let's click on the first one, or I'm sorry, the third one. 9 malls closing on Long Island, shutting down temporarily under New York State order. But before I actually click on it, I'd like to kind of go into a little more detail about what you're reading. You have the title of the article. The author is Torrey Parrish. It's from Newsday, the combined editions, Long Island, New York, March 20th, 2020, page 29. And if you noticed, some of the words in this blurb right over here are highlighted. Those are the words that we actually searched for. We searched for Roosevelt Field, and that's why they're highlighted in this article. We can click on the full text, which we will in a moment. But first, I'd like to just show you the details. So I clicked on that. This is just kind of the details of the article. At the top part, we have subject headings, which are clickable. So you can actually click on shopping centers and you'll find a whole bunch of other articles from Newsday relating to shopping centers. Or if you chose a second topic, it would be on site planning or the coronavirus. It looks like the location is the next option over here. I highlighted it. The locations they discuss are Pennsylvania, Connecticut, United States, New York, and New Jersey. It looks like they also somehow talk about Walt Whitman. It gives you the title of the article, the author. The Lexile score is a way of grading how complicated the article is in terms of reading comprehension. It's a great way to have high school students and junior high school students read at their level or above their level and to help them get more acclimated to reading like that. It's a great way to figure out what the kids should be reading or not be reading, because you don't want them to be, I guess, you don't want them to read material that's too complicated and that they don't understand. The next option is, it was on publication title, Newsday Combined Editions, page 29 in 2020, March 20th. It was in the news section. And then it gets even really, really more detailed. I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to go back using my browser button. And I'm going to click on the full text of the article. So here we have the full text of the article. It's not in the same visual format as it would have appeared in Newsday, the hard copy, but this is actually the text, the real words as it appeared in the article. So we can find out Long Island's malls and some shopping centers have closed or have announced they will close temporarily. And I'm just going to scroll down. Again, the words that we searched for are in yellow. And it gives you a word count at the bottom. And something that is very interesting is at the top right, I'm at the top of the article. You can save the document as a PDF document. I clicked on that and it's starting to download. So I can either save the file or I can open it in Adobe Acrobat Reader. The reason why that's useful is because then you can actually print it and it looks absolutely gorgeous when you print it out. It makes it very formal and the font is easy to read and it's just a great way to save an article. I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go back to my page again. So if you are a junior high school student or a high school student and you want to cite the article, I'm going to click on the second icon on the top right side of the page. I'm going to click Cite. That's what your citation would look like according to the APA format, which is the American Psychological Association. But then there are other formats that you can choose, the Chicago style or the Harvard style or MLA format. And depending on which format you click, it'll give you the citation in that particular format. So you don't have to create it yourself. You can email the article. You can email the content, which in this case is the full text. You can change it. Actually, no, I clicked on the option to change it, and the only option you have is either full text or the citation or abstract and indexing. I imagine you would want the full text. You have the option to include bibliographic citations at the end, and you would put in your email address, your name, and the subject if you would like down here. So that's how you can email the article to yourself. If I so wanted to, you could print the article over here at the top right. It'll go to my printer that's attached to my computer. I would click continue, and you'll get a printout in the format that it looks like right over here that I'm kind of scrolling or I'm moving my mouse over. And finally, well, maybe not finally, but we're getting there. On the right side are related items. This is, the top one is an article called New York Today. Is New York subway great again? And it looks like for some reason they have two of the same article up here. But the third one is weather's been great and retailers have been bleeding, from the New York Times online from 1998. The reason why this appeared is because Proquest, we subscribe to a whole bunch of their databases. So when you're searching for related items, you're not just searching in Newsday, you're searching in other databases. For example, I'm clicking on this option over here, and you have the option to look in other databases like Proquest historical newspapers or the Wall Street Journal or the US News Stream, which is down here I'm looking for. But right now we're talking about Newsday, and I'm going to go back and do another search just to show you a little more. Some more of the features that Proquest Newsday has. I'm going to search for Long Island Ducks, the baseball team, out in Suffolk. So I did my search and I have 1,313 results. And there's an article here, number 4, Goodwill Ambassador, Long Island Soarin' brings joy of baseball around the world. The article is from August of 2019. Again, the search terms, Long Island Ducks and baseball, are in yellow. You can see that it was written by Laura Amato, and it's the combined editions of Newsday. And I'm going to click on full text. And again, this is the full text of the article, 719 words. And I'm scrolling back up. And again, you have the option to save it as a PDF or cite it or email or print it. And at the top left side of the page, you have the option to go back to the results, or we chose article number 4 of the 1,313 articles. From here, you can use the front arrow button, which I'm kind of hovering over, or the back arrow button right over here, just to the left of the number 4. I'm going to go to the 5th article by clicking on the right forward button right over here. So this is the 5th article, and it's from August 14th, 2019, and it's talking about robot umpires and baseball. Interesting article. 349 words in the article, and it might be something that you would be interested in looking at. So I'm going to go back to our search results, and you can filter your searches by publication date. We can search for the last 12 months or the last 5 years or the last 10 years, or you could put in your own custom date range. Notice that it's in this format: year, 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 year. In other words, 4 digits for the year, two digits for the month, and 2 digits for the date. And you can also narrow it by subject. We searched Long Island Ducks baseball, but you can also just search for professional baseball or athletes or coaches or managers. The numbers in parentheses are the number of articles associated with that particular subject. You can look for a document type. So it looks like most of them are news articles. A couple of them, 3 of them, are commentaries. And you can search by language. In this case, they're only just articles in English. And you can also search by publication title, which, since we're searching in Newsday only, there are 1,313 articles in just Newsday. So I'm going to search for 2019, month 01, and the date 01. And I'm going to see what we can find in 2019, 01/31. And let's see if I did the format right. Okay, so I'm basically looking for articles for the Long Island Ducks in 2019. And that actually should be 12/31. There you go. So let's see how that works. So we got down to 27 articles, and we found the Goodwill Ambassador article about bringing joy to baseball around the world. And then we found the Ready for Robot article that I discussed a few minutes ago. So I'm going to go back and do a basic search, because this screen actually has some interesting things to look at. You can look at your recent searches over here. And this is the search over here. S1 stands for set 1, set 2, set 3, set 4. And just to the right of it, these are the results. The first search that we did had 12,490 results. The next one had 12,144. Then the third one had 1,313 articles, and the fourth one had 27 results. I'm going to go back again. And just to wrap up a little, on the right side, we have an option to how do I evaluate sources. It looks like this is a video. You can look at it. They're probably going to talk about all sorts of options about how current the source is, who wrote it, and things like that. What newspaper it came from. Is it dated? Does the person have their name who wrote about it? Things like that. So if you're interested in Long Island news, I would highly suggest that you look at Proquest Newsday from the Farmingdale Library's website. It's current, easy to use. And if you have any questions, please call me at the library or send me an email, fdaleref@nassaulibrary.org. I plan on doing many of these webinars in the future. I'm probably going to do a couple a week. They are going to be posted to the library's YouTube page, excuse me. Just do a search on YouTube for Farmingdale Public Library, and you'll see a whole bunch of these that I've done over the last 3 weeks or so. They're fun, interesting, and I hope they help you. And finally, we should have an archive of these webinars on the library database page where I started out, where you went to under the research on the library website. There's probably going to be an archive at some point in the future regarding or covering these online databases. So I hope you enjoyed this. I look forward to seeing you again. And if you have any questions, please drop me an email. Thanks very much and have a great day.